I was 21 years old. I was a junior in college. I had been in a very rocky relationship. So the first thing that came to mind when the doctor told me that I was pregnant was, I'm getting an abortion. I don't want to hear anything else. This is what I'm doing. This is what, my boyfriend's going to want me to do. This is what has to be done. I can't raise a child. So after telling my boyfriend that I was pregnant, he immediately said, nope, we're not doing this. You have to get an abortion. And so I made an appointment to get an abortion, and I was sick to my stomach all the way up till we got to the actual abortion clinic. And when I walked into the abortion clinic, I felt like this black cloud was over me. And I sat down and I took the paperwork, and I was so hesitant, but I knew in the back of my mind that I had to do it. I couldn't be a single mother. I couldn't be that girl that's pregnant. So what I did was I signed the paperwork. I sat down and I waited till they called my name. And when they called my name, we went to this back room, and the nurse handed me this paperwork and just flew by it like, yeah, this is going to be done. This was going to happen. Just like not, no consideration at all. And I was really just hoping for somebody to be like, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do this? And so we went into the next room and they did an ultrasound. And right when they saw the ultrasound and I saw a heartbeat, I was beside myself, and I looked at my boyfriend hoping for him to be like, let's turn around, let's have this baby, and he didn't. And neither did the doctor. The doctor didn't say, is this really what you want to do? They just kind of showed you the picture of the baby, and then that was it. Picture and heartbeat. And so then they made me sit in a chair in a corner, and the doctor said, put your hand out. Took this brown little lunch bag and passed me the pill and said, I held it like this, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I take it? And the doctor just stared at me, and then he forcibly was like, that's gonna melt in your hand. You have to take it. This is the time to do it. I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders, and I put it in my mouth and I swallowed real quick, and that was that. And he handed me the brown paper bag and told me to take the next dose in 24 hours, and that's it. Have a nice day. And immediately after walking out of the clinic, I ran to the car and I tried to spit it out. I tried to throw up. I was disgusted in myself. I was disgusted in my boyfriend for allowing me to do that. And I cried. I cried and I cried and I cried, and there was no turning back. I just knew that I had made the biggest mistake in my life, and there was nothing else I could do. So when we got home, I immediately tried figuring out ways to fix it. I went to a hospital, and they told me I had to take my course and I had to finish what I was doing. And then I went to my family, and I called my aunt, who told me to just pray and just bow my head and pray to God that he would save this baby and that this pill would not work. And I got a call from my stepdad a little while later, and he had told me that, call this number. This woman can possibly help you. It's a hotline. And so I called and I cried and I said, help me. There's nothing more I want in this world than this baby, and I don't care if I'm going to do it on my own. I don't care how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And so I called this number, and they directed me to a doctor who was about an hour and 15 minutes away from me. And I called her, and she said, come in immediately. And when I got there, I checked in. It was just me and her in the office. She had me come in on a day that the office was closed. She came in her regular clothes, and there I was, me and my mother. And she looked me in the face and she said, I'm going to be honest with you. There may not be a heartbeat, but if there is, then we do this. We can reverse and try to save your baby. And so I was shaking, and I got in that room and I laid on the ultrasound table, and boom, there was my baby. My baby was there. He had a heartbeat, and immediately I knew that I was going to be a mother and I was going to do whatever it took to be a mother. And so my doctor and my mom, we went in the next room and we started the progesterone shots and we started the reversal. And I made the biggest decision of my life that day to say, I'm not going to go through with this abortion. I'm going to save my child. At that moment, my son was the only thing that mattered. And he, till this day, is still the only thing that matters. He has taken me to a whole new level of who I am as a person. I am better because of him. I have bettered my life because of him. And there is no explaining how a child can affect your life so positively. And let's say I did go through with that abortion, I still feel as though I would be in a very dark place today and I wouldn't have been able to handle it. And I sit here and I tell my story because I want someone to stumble upon my story or any other girl's story who has something similar to mine and say, you gave me the inspiration to say no to an abortion, or you gave me an inspiration to reverse my abortion. And 21 years old, I'm a child. I was a child back then. But I felt as though I was being pressured by society, pressured by my boyfriend, pressured by, all these other outside factors. And I feel like that happens to other girls too. They feel as though I'm not going to be a single mother. I can't raise this child on my own, when really there's resources, there's family, there's friends. And if you don't have that, then support groups. Support groups are great. My story, I look back on it every day, and my son is truly my happiness.